Hello and welcome to another edition of UFO Video Addicts. Let me give you a quick preview of what I got coming up in this video. The first is a UFO out of Zurich, Switzerland. I got another video here out of Mexico. Get a ton of videos out of Mexico. I also have this video here from Texas. This is a compilation of videos that's just over an hour and a half long, so if you have some time, it's just a bunch of different videos taken over the years. Here is a report from Earth Files, Linda Moulton Howe. I've done several videos about the Chicago O'Hare UFO incident, and in it, they always talk about some people did take cell phone photos, and these are the two. They're not necessarily the best photos, but you can definitely see a little tic-tac object up here. Let's see. I also have this video here, Mysterious Cave Art. Just about all of these characters that sort of resemble aliens or, beings with helmets on their heads. And then, there's other things about like the Dropa aliens or the Dropa stones. Here is a video about Bob Lazar. This is an interview by George Knapp, the first time that he interviewed Bob Lazar. Initially they show him in silhouette and they give him a fake name, but later on then they reveal that it is Bob Lazar. But I think it's very interesting. He's being mentioned a lot in the news again. Robert Bigelow mentioned something about him, and God, I've never doubted anything he said. I mean, and the things about the discrepancy with his high school transcripts or college transcripts or whatever. Look, he was in intelligence, in top secret stuff. Of course, the FBI is going to try and cover his stuff up. I don't understand why, those kind of discrepancies would be questionable or odd when everything else he says checks out. But anyways, this other article here, U.S. Air Force flight nurse interviewed alien named Ariel, said Earth was alien prison planet before 30,000 years BCE. And then the last article here is astonishing 45-year-old records of the stone transportation of the Pyramid of Giza. Apparently they found like a diary of this guy named Meyer or something like that, and list how they kept track of all of the stones that were being cut and shipped. So I thought that was very, very interesting. Take a look at that. But anyways, let me get here to the first video here. Let me go full screen. In the beginning, I'm not too sure if we really, I didn't think we really saw anything. Yeah, you know what? You don't really see anything in the beginning. It isn't until near the end that you actually start to see something. Yeah, we're 3 minutes into the video here, and it definitely looks like there's something spinning. Yeah, not the best video quality, but I'm probably but he's most likely just taking it with his cell phone. This guy isn't a professional videographer. He's not a professional cameraman. He's probably just someone who saw something and he whipped out his phone and took it. And this is, this is the quality we get because this is what was available on the phone that he had, or whatever he used to tape this. But anyways, I will leave a link in the description. Let me go on to the next video here. This is in Tepoztlan. I'm not too sure if I'm saying that right. Tepoztlan, Mexico. This place has a long history of UFO sightings, and hundreds of sightings are reported every year. Yeah, you know why hundreds of sightings are reported every year? Because these are our neighbors. They're most likely an entrance or an exit to their civilization somewhere near here. And these are probably probes they sent out to monitor the surface monkeys. Or, maybe they send these things out to see how much damage we've done to the planet so far. But yeah, that's not a long. It's only 34 minutes or it's 34 seconds long, and that's all we see. I guess you know what? I can play this whole thing. Hundreds, people. These things are hundreds of these things are reported every year. And this is just one region of Mexico. I've done other videos of like places in Puerto Rico where people regularly or routinely go to certain areas and watch UFOs coming in and out of the waters. Let's see. This is out of Texas, I think. Unexplained encounter. Mysterious new footage shows a hovering UFO shoot off at jet speed before vanishing into thin air.
Disappeared again. Oh, there it is. That's it right there. It'll like shoot up, then come to the ground and shoot up. It's going to take off. There it goes.
Yeah, that could be a drone. Yeah, maybe that's moving a little too fast, I think, for a drone.
Now it's gone. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, I think it's gone just because it went behind trees, but not too sure about that one. That could be that, I think there's a possibility that that could be a drone. Let me stop this thing here. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. That could be a drone. It was moving, I think, faster than I think a drone should be able to move, but I could just be being deceived by the distance. I don't know. I'll leave a link in the description. This video here, it's hour and 39 minutes if you have time. If you have, but it's just a compilation of all these different UFO sightings. This is obviously the space station. This is most likely being filmed from one of the space shuttles. This is the astronaut tries to cover. Let me go back a little. Let's see what's up with that. Oh yeah, you can see a UFO right there. Oh, I see how, yeah, the astronaut tries to cover it up. Oh, there's something else out there. Let me move a little bit forward here. Oh yeah, look at this little thing way out here. Taking into consideration the distance that thing must be, I'm going to assume this thing is pretty big too. But anyways, there's an hour and a half of all of this footage. I guess it's all taken from NASA. And and again, one thing I want you to know about all of this footage, all of these UFOs or these strange objects, they're taken around this planet. They're not taken around Mars. They're not taken around Jupiter. All of these UFOs are seen around our planet. So, if they're coming in and out of this planet, it only stands to reason that they have bases. If they have bases, they most likely also have civilizations down here. So, anyways, let me go on to this next article here. Let's see. This is from Linda Moulton Howe, Earth Files, reported, edited by Linda Moulton Howe. Now, I've done several videos about the Chicago O'Hare UFO incident, and, this is all about it. But anytime you listen to other people talk about it, they said that, that they were cell phones taken of it. And here they are. I can't make this image bigger, but you can see up here, top right corner, and in this one here, top left corner. Of course, I'll leave a link so you can check this out yourself. But yeah, it says an egg-shaped disc in upper right of digital image allegedly taken on November 7th, 2006, and provided to abovetopsecret.com on January 23rd, 2007. And I tell you, this looks just like the Tic Tac UFO that Fravor talked about. Right here too, you can see, looks like a little, like a Tic Tac up in the sky. So this happened in 2006, which is around the same time, I think, that Fravor was seeing his stuff. I think those were like 2001. But anyways, there's hundreds of reports of these egg-shaped discs flying around. So I'm going to assume it's because, this is the chosen craft by one of the advanced civilizations on our planet. I contend that there's more than one. Let's see. This video here is about different cave art depicting, what looks to be aliens or people with helmets on their head.
Supporting these space visitors. Archaeologists and speleologists have found cave art in countries around the world. Some drawings resemble discs with lights or windows, while others show what appears to be rays or flames radiating from the craft. What looks remarkably like a person or groups of people are depicted in helmets, or what could be spacesuits or uniforms. Some of these figures had tubes running from their rounded headgear to their clothing, much like the oxygen packs of our present-day astronauts. Initially, cave drawings were thought to be another of modern man's attempts to perpetrate and prove the existence of space travelers. But as more and more undeniably similar images were found thousands of miles and centuries apart, this was no longer a plausible explanation and was scientifically discounted. Cave art suggesting visitors from space is documented and dated on the walls of caves in Australia, France, Spain, Japan, Africa, Tanzania, Egypt, Italy, Mexico, the United States, and many other countries. Carbon dating has shown some drawings to be as much as 50,000 years old. A point of interest to scientists, as well as individuals who follow the newest alien research data, is the fact that there seems to have been a significantly greater number of drawings found that date between 10,000 BC and 12,000 BC.
I think the reason why we find an abundance of drawings around that period, 10,000 to 11,000 years ago, well, it's definitely been proven that a meteor impacted the North American ice caps, and a huge flood melted those glaciers, right? And massive water wiped out any semblance of any civilizations, right? And after that, we know that there must have been survivors. So the people that did survive, they had to relearn all of the things that must have been done previously by other people, by other experts. So I think the humans that did survive this cataclysm had to be retaught how to farm, had to be retaught agriculture. And I think that's the reason why, a lot of these hunter-gatherer societies, say that, that the star people or they point up to people from the sky came down and taught us how to farm, and they brought us corn, they brought us rice, they brought us wheat and things like that. And a lot of those stone carvings that you see with the person holding the bag, the bag in one hand, right, holding down, and then in the other hand there's a pine cone holding up. I think that symbol, or what's in those bags, are seeds, and that symbolizes as above, so below, right? Because the guy is showing, right, the seeds in the bag. You put the seeds in the ground, and then at the top you're going to get a pine cone. You're going to get the seeds, right? Because I'm sure people see pine cones, and they must intuitively know that the pine cones come from the trees. Well, I think, you know, those stone carvings are teaching these people, or letting these people know that these were the quote unquote gods or the angels that brought agriculture, you know, to the survivors of the cataclysm. So anyways, that's just my interpretation of those bags. I think those are bags of seeds. Anyways, let's go on to this next video here. This is about Bob Lazar, alien technology, you know. People still, again, I don't know why. Oh, I do know why. But yeah, people, you know, question whether or not, you know, what he says is legit. And it's all coming out. Yes, everything he said is legit. So let's hear what he has to say here.
He says he's telling it in order to protect himself. He says he was hired to work at an area called S4, which is a few miles south of Groom Lake. At S4, he says, are flying saucers, antimatter reactors, and other working examples of technology that is seemingly beyond human capabilities.
Right. This came from somewhere else. I mean, as bizarre as that is to believe, but I mean, it's there. I saw it. I know what the current state of the art is in physics, and it can't be done.
Checking out Lazar's credentials proved to be a difficult task. He says he earned degrees in physics and electronics, but the schools we contacted say they've never heard of him. He also said he worked as a physicist at Los Alamos National Lab, where he experimented with one of the world's largest particle beam accelerators, a half-mile-long behemoth capable of generating 700 million volts.
Well, that's all been proven that he did work at Los Alamos, you know. And again, if you have any doubts about his credibility, you can check this video out. Let me go on to this next link here. This is a U.S. Air Force flight nurse interviewed alien named Arrow, I think that's how you say that, said Earth was alien prison before 30,000 BCE. The Roswell incident has always been a core of all alien and UFO mysteries we have seen in the last several decades. Officially, it was never claimed that the alien craft crashed in New Mexico in 1947, but many people of that time stated to have seen alien craft that day. There are dozens of stories that tell us that aliens were rescued after the crash and possibly survived. It is evident that the government will always deny it. They're not denying it anymore. They're acknowledging it. However, some individuals and officials believe the alien rescue story and said the UFO crash was real. According to the excerpts from the notes and documents of Matilda O'Donnell McElroy, Senior Master Sergeant, Women's Army Air Force Medical Corps, she interviewed an alien named Arrow who told her where they had come from and why they came to Earth. Matilda was only 23 years old when she interviewed the alien through telepathy. She was the only person at the base who had the ability to talk with beings through the mind. In her interview with Arrow, she found out that the alien was not a biological being, had a female-like appearance, and also had not been injured during the crash. She noted that the alien was the size of a small child and was the only survivor among the 3 crew members of the ship that had crashed in New Mexico. Her body was made of synthetic material, which means she was an alien robot controlled by higher order beings. This goes along with everything that we have learned so far about the gray aliens, that, you know, that they aren't, or that they are clones, you know, that they're biologically created entities specifically designed for space travel, because our body types, you know, are designed for a gravity or an Earth atmosphere. Our bodies are not designed to travel in space. So I believe that these grays must be the workers of some of the advanced inhabitants on our planet. And if that's the case, I guarantee you, some of those inhabitants look just like us. You know, many times they talk about how a lot of these aliens could fit amongst us in a crowd and no one would ever notice. Well, again, if that's the case and they do have space travel, they're not traveling in space. They created, you know, some biological entities to do whatever needs to be done out in space. And I think that's what these aliens, or the gray aliens, are. Well, some of the gray aliens. I'm not too sure about the tall grays. But anyways, let's check this article, or this last one here. Let's see. Here, check out this article here. Astonishing 45,000-year-old record of the stone transportation of the pyramids of Giza. There are more than 100 pyramids present in Egypt. Some are extreme examples of engineering, and some even could not be finished. There are about 10 pyramids in Egypt that could not be completed due to various reasons. There are a lot of theories about the construction and transportation of the stones used during the construction of the Giza Pyramid. How Giza Pyramid construction happened, for that, still, there is no archaeological proof, but how and from where stones were transported, for that, a big breakthrough got by archaeologists Pierre Tallet and Gregory Morand in 2013 during the excavation of Wadi al-Jarf, the oldest port in the world. Yeah, that's not written correctly there. During the excavation, they discovered a papyrus that contains a record of transporting limestones to the Giza. This papyrus became the oldest papyrus ever discovered. Wadi al-Jarf is present name of the oldest known artificial harbor in the world that developed about 4,500 years ago, probably brought into operation during the reign of King Snorfru, and particularly used by expeditions under King Khufu. The site of Wadi al-Jarf was occupied exclusively at the very beginning of the 4th dynasty in order to reach by boat to the Sinai Peninsula, the main mining area operated by the ancient Egyptians. Yeah, this thing, I think this must have been translated from a different language or something, because the writing is all wrong. But anyways, here's a video here.
The lion-headed figurine is the oldest known animal-shaped sculpture in the world. It has been determined by carbon dating of the layer in which it was found to be between 35,000 to 40,000 years old.
You know, this notion of carbon dating based on the layer of rock or the layer that it was found in, I don't think that's or it could be accurate. Because let's say somebody found this from another location, right, and then brought it and dropped it at its present location where then they found it. Let's say this thing is, 10,000 years older, and someone found it at a different location, carried it to this new location, and then dropped it. And then, because this happened, 40,000 years ago, then they think this is 40,000 years old because that's where it was found. It just means that that's where it was laid there. But it doesn't mean that, that's how old this thing is. This thing could be a lot older. And again, I've said this before in my videos, everything that we've been taught about Earth's history, about our evolution, completely wrong. We know so much more today. We have so much better equipment and technology, as opposed to what people were using 1,000 years ago or 500 years ago. And, when most of our current paradigms were established. Yeah, we just know so much more today. So, a lot of that stuff that we were taught is completely wrong. And I think people need to be willing to accept all of this new information and, change what they were taught and what they believe. But anyways, that is going to be it for this video. If you like things like this, please give this video a thumbs up. If you like this video, please share it. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'll have more things like this. Take care.